Hey guys, I'm going to be running you guys through the 4-star dungeon, the newest dungeon that we have in Throne and Liberty. It is surprisingly easy. Managed to clear it with a 5k CP alt that I have in Korea. 5k CP being the minimum in order to enter the dungeon. So if you're a new player, you just got the 5k CP. Don't feel too intimidated by it. It is 100% doable. If you have a full 5k CP party though, you might need an actual party, as in 1 tank, 1 seeker, and 4 actual DPS. If you're already like close to 6k, if not like 6k plus CP, it is 100% doable. Even if you had like in our case, we had like 2 tanks, 3 tanks in the party, and it was still doable. But real quick, the first 2 mini bosses right now in the actual dungeon, not too hard, but I will reference them real quick. Some of it can be confusing, and really the most of the mechanics that you have to pay attention to is just on the last boss. So first one right here, very basic. It's basically just it's just a couple Q blocks. That's it. That's all you have to do for this one. He'll send out like an AoE to the tank or whoever he has aggro on that like kind of pushes you a little bit forward, but it barely does any damage. And you can counter it just by walking around a little bit, but you know, you might end up hitting your DPS. So it's just better just to tank it, especially if you have a healer. The other thing is this one right here where he decides to do a spin. He'll hit you a couple times during that spin and then knock you back at the end of it. All you really have to do is either you walk away from it or you just hold Q, and that's it. Like, not a lot to do. He does another move, which is also another Q block. You can Q block that, and then he goes into underground, and when he jumps down, if you're within this range, you'll get knocked back. Nothing too serious about it. That's basically it. That's all he does. So really easy. The next part is where some new players might get confused a little bit. This is basically the next part, which is what summons the next the second boss, the one right before the actual final boss. This one's pretty easy. The spot that we're standing on here, the lower left area, this is fire, the fire element. Upper left area, that's the earth element, and then the upper right over there, you see in the corner, is the water element. So my advice for this one to get it done quicker is try to pull everything and then just AoE a little bit while focus firing on the element that you need. In this case, it's fire. Once you kill this one, once you kill the fire element on this one, a heart will appear. One of the like a little heart will appear, and then this mechanic here at the middle will start sending out lasers essentially. And you just want to stand on top of the heart so that when the laser shoots out, it hits the heart and it destroys the heart, and then you're done with that part, right? It also does damage to the golems, so if you want to have like some extra DPS on there, might not be useful now, but might be useful once we get to the challenge dungeons. We'll see when that time comes, but that's essentially all you have to do for this one. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit just so you can see. You can see there, 1 fire golem dead, and then it summons you can see like a little heart there. It's not like it's a little hard to see, but it's basically right there. Little red thing here, right? You'll hear like a little heartbeat as well. See the laser shoots it, boom, heart is gone, and that's clear. That's all you have to do for these ones. So because we did a little bit of AoEing with the mobs here, you can see this water one is half HP already. We do that on purpose just so once we go to this area over here, it just takes a little bit less time to kill it. And that's basically it. And then summons a boss, which is basically a tank and spank boss for now. That might change when challenge dungeons come out, but that's essentially it. And then after this, you go into a portal after you kill the boss, and you just kill some more ads. If you have some AoE builds, put on your AoE builds. It's just going to be a lot of mobs that you have to clear. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. And then this is going to be the final boss, Valentra. Surprisingly, really easy and has some really simple mechanics. There are some mechanics that she has that you don't even have to do. You can just completely ignore, even if you are like a 5k CP. But I am guessing that it's going to be something that's going to be relevant once the challenge dungeons are out. And credit to the Grin 2 boys that told me about one of them. It's for sure going to be essential once the challenge dungeons come out. So let's get started with this one. Just start hitting it a little bit. That's just another Q block and a little AoE. And then usually right after she does that first Q roll mechanic, she'll say, "How'd you like to become my test subject?" Once you see that pop up right above her, that means she's gonna send out purple orbs. Basically, as soon as you see this, start walking around a little bit. If you're the tank, maybe walk away a little bit so you have like ample time to dodge, because she's gonna send out purple orbs that will trap you. So in this dungeon right now, that's essentially really the only thing that can kind of kill you, because once you're in there, you can't get healed. You can't get even a healing circle won't heal you. So you're gonna be receiving a lot of like AoE damage from her, and it's gonna kill you eventually if people don't break you out of the cage. If you have good DPS pumpers though, and you make that mistake, just make sure that they break the cage, and none of you will be at risk of dying. But if you're already at like 10, 20%, 30% HP when that happens, especially if you're a squishy DPS, there's a good chance that you will die in that time. So just be careful of that. This is essentially the most dangerous mechanic she has, and that's a good thing. Yeah, you can see that lands on one of our healers and imprisons them right away. See? And then she does that. The weaklings can destroy each other. So there's two sides to this one, right? This is like an easier version of Chapel, essentially, with the both sides thing. This side here is purple. Depending on which side you were when you got pushed into it. Purple, you'll have a purple ring. You can kind of see that on my character there. You'll see like a purple ring right around there. Little purple ring there. So, and then there's like yellow side, and this is purple side. Then you'll have a ring depending on what side you are. It doesn't do a lot of damage, even with a 5k CP ult in Korea. I didn't really quite feel the damage just because a healer, like, healing over time is more than enough to make up for the damage that it's doing to you. But again, challenge dungeons, that's probably going to be a bigger factor. So if you're on the wrong side, you will take damage every second, essentially. So if you have the purple ring, stay on purple side. If you have the yellow ring, stay on yellow side, right? And you can see there the little ball that ends up on one of our allies here. You want to be, one person needs to be in that circle, depending on what side you are on. And you need to make sure that you're facing this way, the boss's direction, because depending on where you're facing, that ball is going to bounce like a volleyball, like a beach ball, to whatever direction you're facing. If you're facing this, so if you're facing like this way, it's going to send it over here, and that's going to be a little tough, right? um, but so you need to send it to somebody who's like yellow over here, so that they can have that over there. And you're gonna find out why here in like in a quick second what it does. So you can see that you kind of mess up it. We kind of messed this up a little bit. You can see like man over here had to go ahead and catch it. They kind of were doing that on purpose to troll each other. And you need to make sure that this band here is going through the boss, because you can see right over here 10 stacks. Doing this essentially makes the stack go down, and the boss basically just starts losing all those buffs, right? And you'll notice as they gradually kind of gradually goes down, starts doing less and less damage to people, and you just get stun immunity out of there. You can see like we're not doing a lot of damage right now. Again, not the biggest deal. Obviously, you still want to do it because you don't want to waste time, and that's going to be even more prevalent in the challenge dungeons, right? So just make sure you're doing that. All right, and then the next one, and then you'll get to this point where after those traps, you'll see a member with a mark above their head, and you'll see this little purple circle here that you see. You need one person to be around there. And it can have up to two people that are gonna be essentially stoned, because what he's gonna do, turn people, you see they're stoned, they're petrified. So what she's gonna do next is charm your members, and they're gonna be attracted to her, and she's gonna throw out the cage balls again, like the purple cage balls. So your job is, if you were one of the people that were petrified, right, come to me, my loyal soldiers, is when she does this. What you want to do in advance, as soon as she's doing that, is get close to, or right behind, actually right behind the petrified members that you have. She will charm you, and you'll walk towards her. But as soon as these guys are off of the petrification, they will have a circle around them that will cause you to follow them instead. That way you're not like full sending it to the boss, and she can just charm you. Or she can just cage you, rather. See that? They grab us, and then we follow them, right? We're in love with them. You see like little hearts popping up. So another thing is, you see this right here? Starts out as usually like full blue, and then you start to see the red start to creep up a little bit. Once this gets filled up, all the way to here, it actually explodes. So you don't have to do it now because it really doesn't matter. But again, once challenge dungeons are out, it most likely will be a factor because if you were to take this as soon as it gets to full, and then stand beside the boss here, close to the boss, when it explodes, it stuns her. Right now, it is unnecessary. It doesn't really make a difference. But again, challenge dungeons come. That's probably going to be a mechanic that we have to pay attention to. So it's good to know now rather than later. That way you're prepared for when a relevant mechanic does happen to the boss. And essentially, that's it. That's the boss.